New booster engine placement confirmed at Massey's. The launch mount is set to roll at Sanchez. Factory walls fall at the build site, and a new crane pad is prepared for a tandem lift at the launch site. Hey everyone, and welcome to RGV Aerial Photography's Starbase Flyover Update 82. The weather this week was perfect for another fantastic flyover. This flight took place on May 2nd at an altitude of 10,500 feet and captured all the fast-moving action at the now officially named Starbase, Texas. My name is Jeff A, and I'll be your guide today, so let's kick back and take in all the exciting sights. We'll start over at the Massey's test facility. Here's a map of the site made by Proky to help you find your way around. First, let's cover the events of the past week from Massey's. On the 1st of May, Ship 35 conducted a one-engine static fire to demonstrate an in-space burn. Here's an amazing view of the test posted by SpaceX. The next day, it conducted a 6-engine static fire, which appeared to be unsuccessful because of an RVAC going out prematurely after what looked like an explosion. SpaceX released no footage of this test, which leads us to believe this test was unsuccessful. It was then rolled back to the production site. Moving on to changes at the site, recent additions to the new cryo stand reveal the new engine placement for version 3 boosters. Only the inner set of 10 engines have been rotated 18 degrees. This results in none of the Raptor engines being directly above the flame diverter's ridge cap. This line shows how the centre line of the ridge cap will be in relation to the engines. While the outer 20 engines won't have thrusts and actuators, their placement will be between the clamp arm mounts. A new handrail has also been installed around the perimeter of the stand for safety. Moving to the booster cryo testing stand, relocation of the cryogenic pipes is progressing, with them moving in the direction of the new QD frame. This now gives us details about which QD is for a given commodity. The one nearest the original QD frame is for methane, and the other is for liquid oxygen. So far, both have a high pressure nitrogen line, which were both used by the previous booster QD panel. Moving to the structural test cage, installation of the clamps has begun, with them looking similar to the ones spotted in the ring yard being taken off of the turntable that was used to stack test tank 17. Before we move to Sanchez, let's take a quick look at the developments at Rio West. The foundations for the community buildings appear to be complete. We'll be sure to keep track as this building rises throughout upcoming flyovers. At the row of houses at the bottom of the site, framing of the houses continues to make its way to the right. At the apartments in the middle of the site, first floor walls are being erected for the apartments. At the top, all the houses have their first levels completed, with the first few houses having their second levels prepared and poured. Finally, the new lot for the tiny homes near Ad Astra on Highway 4 is coming together nicely, with the homes being laid out and excavation for utilities taking place at the left of the site. Let's move to Sanchez, shall we? Starting with the launch mounts for Pad 2, scaffolding has been removed and the pathway cleared before transport on Monday the 5th. As you can see, the manifold spotted last week is now welded in place, and 4 hold-down arms have been installed, with the rest likely being installed at the pad in the next few days. Each of these weigh around 9 tons, and with the current structure weighing around 1,000 tons, they are probably nearing the limit of the load capacity for the SPMTs over the road, as well as the lift capacity of the cranes. More of these hold-down arms were delivered during the week, and they should be moved to the pad soon. Here, we can see the 2 flame trench ridge end caps staged near the boundary. These will be installed on the exposed ends of the current ridge cap on top of the flame buckets. At the transport stand construction area, the clamp arms for the 3rd transport stand were moved. To the side of this, construction of a new type of work stand has started. This might be for ship aft sections, we'll have to wait and see. Further along, crews are building another new type of workstation. Both of these show that Starfactory is continuing to undergo development and iterations. There are parts for more of these closer to the inventory tent. Rolling to the ship QD arm area, more walkways have been installed in the middle of the arm, just like the current arm on Tower 1. A ship QD plate has also arrived and is staged nearby. Hopefully, this is a sign that the rest of the SQD arm will soon be assembled. There is a noticeable reduction in pipes in all the various areas of Sanchez as the new pad at the launch site continues its rapid construction. During the flyover, Ship 35 was being transported from Massey's to Mega Bay 1 through the middle road at Sanchez. This route was chosen because, as you'll soon see, the ring yard was somewhat blocked. At the crane yard, we can see the 3 SPMTs that were later moved under the launch mount. It's incredible to think that this structure could be the heaviest transport ever undertaken here at Starbase. Finally, work continues on Remedios Avenue, including the road widening, drainage and now electrical conduits. Just before moving to the build site, we'd like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all the patrons get to participate in our show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here you can join in the discussion and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. Starting off at the front of Starfactory, SpaceX wasted no time or effort in removing the majority of glass panels before cutting two large sections of the wedge free and letting them crash to the ground. The broken panels can be seen amongst the rubble. The action was captured here on Lab Padre's rover cam and compiled by Vix. The corner section near Highway 4 remains. Once the wall section fell, we had a view of the new exterior wall and door. The big topic of discussion is whether the new Gigabay will be built up against the factory or will a passageway be left between them. Tell us what you think in the comments below. The hired LTM 11200 and 1300 cranes from Berry have been transported away, leaving the SpaceX Grover crane to finish the deconstruction of the high bay. With all the debris blocking the passage between the high bay and factory, Ship 35 had to take a detour through Sanchez to get back to Megabay 2, as seen in this video once again from Lab Padre. At the time of writing, 4 ships, or part thereof, are now in Megabay 2, and for the first time taking advantage of all 3 raised work platforms and the turntable. They are ships 35, 36, 37 and 38. There was no visible change in Megabay 1 this week. Around the back of the factory, there is a new forward flap on the rack near the bakery. Speaking of the bakery, dust collection hardware installed up against this wall could indicate that soon it will move to this part of the factory. Recent drainage work was finalised, leaving a new drain point and ready for concrete. In the new ring yard behind the office complex, one of the new stands has made an appearance. It's likely here staged, ready to go into this end of the factory. Several pallets are staged here along with the new style booster hold down clamps. These match those removed from a Megabay 1 turntable following Test Tank 17's departure from the bay. The Meme Street apartment building's foundation work along the eastern edge is progressing well, and a new set of footings can be seen along the St Jude Street end. One of the CFA rigs remains behind, though the pipework used for installing piles is disconnected from it. Construction of roads and buildings in the village continues, including drainage work on LBJ Boulevard. Finally, some new land has been cleared and covered in gravel behind the Starlink building. With that, let's move on to the launch site. Here's an updated label map of the launch site after a few weeks of clouds preventing a clear wide view of the site. Beginning at Pad B, the centre of the trench walls are now stacked to the top of the trench mount legs. On May 5th, they were filled with concrete in preparation for the launch mount to be placed. In this top view, the 3 slope sections seen stacked last week are now filled with concrete. The 4th slope is now being stacked, with 1 more row needed to make it ready for concrete fill. On the tower side of the trench, the space between the sheet piles and wall segments has also been filled. It's unclear if this is concrete with aggregate or if it's a material known as flowable fill. This is a cement-based product that lacks the coarse stone aggregates and structural concrete. The flame diverter is continuing final preparations as well this week. The pipes at the base are now cleanly aligned across the width. The 4 pipes used to fill in the area needed for lifting hardware for installation are being integrated. The sections appeared to shift some during installation, so filler material is being welded into some of the larger gaps. To the west of the tower, a new pair of high-pressure pipes are exposed. The fluids bunker sees further pipes installed. Several of these are smaller gas lines, routing between the buried trenches and the above-ground racks. Moving over to the deluge farm, the inlet manifolds for the 4 larger tanks are now complete for each tank. Between the tanks, additional pipes and manifolds are staged, possibly for the deluge systems. Moving to the south, the base of the 2 weir pipes have been encased in concrete. Progress on the remaining water pipes to the north of the flame trench is unclear this week. The entire area is backfilled. The lack of pipe ends exposed on either end suggests that ends have been buried for later completion. Multiple lifts of soil layered with geotextile fabric have been prepared. Recent road delays and work seen around the Pad B launch mount in Sanchez suggests this groundwork is in preparation for the LR11000s and the launch mount to be moved into position for its tandem lift. Along the south side of the launch site, further preparations for the arrival of the launch mount are seen, with crane mats stacked as well as load spreader beams and large lifting shackles staged. Many of these lifting devices would be transported to Sanchez on May the 5th, and then returned here on the 6th. Moving toward the comms building, concrete has been poured between it and the nitrogen GSE hardware. This extends toward the tank farm, with the newest part of this pad being poured during the flyover. Along the highway, the last portion of the existing building along Highway 4 was demolished. This area was expected to be cleared, as the D2 gate is the only space large enough for the launch mount to be rolled through once this building was removed. Onto the Pad B pump farm, the lock side of the farm remains visibly unchanged. Pump number 2 remains empty with its pump and motor nearby. While testing on the pad isn't expected very soon, it seems the booster-related systems may be prioritised over completing the pumps for the ship. The methane section has all its frames and skids installed. Most of the pipework is connected or staged in preparation of pump installations. To the side, additional pipework has been added to the single large subcooler. Just below, the inlet and outlet manifolds for the 4 methane kettle boilers are staged. Moving east along the front of the tank farm, hardware has arrived for the new pad in front of the methane tanks. 2 valve skids can be seen along with 3 fan bases for forced draft vaporizers. Several lengths of new pipes are welded together in front of the farm. The 2 long pipes seen last week are now placed on the pipe racks on the eastern section of the rack. A small segment also on a rack at the transition near the LN2 tanks. This pipe has a T near the current methane tanks, as well as 2 others for integrating the large methane tanks near the LOX pump farm. This image also shows that the first of the 3 new vaporizers has been delivered. Keeping up with the roundabout, construction appears to be getting close to being finished. The main circle and the approach and departure lanes appear complete. Moving to Pad A, with minimal work taking place here, the area is being used as a staging area for hardware for a pile drill rig that would arrive May 4th, with its mast being raised vertically on the 5th. Near the Buckner LR11000, several rebar cages can be seen, with more delivered since the flyover. It's unclear where these will be installed, but the next flyover may provide that answer. 2 lifts can be seen working on the tower near the centre spine of the chopstick carriage. The SQD arm is rotated out, as additional tests on the fire monitor were seen in recent days. As has been the report in recent weeks, the pad seems ready for Flight 9, pending vehicle readiness. New warning notices have been released for the Gulf and the Indian Ocean. That's it for episode 82 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV aerial photography, and we hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. My name's Jeff A, and we hope to see you again from 10,500 feet.